So you've blocked the narcissist, but they still continue to try to reach out to you, despite what you are clearly communicating. This is Radical Self-Respect with Jared Mello, and the reason I'm making this video today is, wouldn't you know, this has happened to me recently, again. And I also understand there's a lot of people, especially women in particular. This is something a lot of narcissistic dudes do to women, where narcissistic people in general, they try to bulldoze boundaries because they don't think boundaries apply to them. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Please do subscribe. I haven't asked people to do that for a while. Like, comment, share if you agree with or can relate to the experience I'm about to talk about. And I normally talk about dating, relationships, sometimes current events, supplements, things along those lines. And I also enjoy interviewing people, so that's what you can expect on this channel. But back to today's video. So the narcissist, they know they're blocked, but they just can't handle it, right? And so this is how it happened to me. I've had relationships that were romantic with narcissists, and there's, unfortunately for me, narcissists in my family. And one of them in particular, I had blocked him, and the other day I received a phone call from a no-caller ID number. And sometimes that means there can be a job, so I'll answer the phone, whether it's for my day job or my coaching job, I'll answer. And I answer this phone call, and what do you know? I ask, who's this? And he said, oh, it's your long-lost family member. And I'm like, oh, I see now. And he knows that he's been blocked. But here's the thing. When a narcissist does that, what they are communicating is they don't really care about your boundaries. They don't respect your boundaries. It's all about them. And you serve the purpose in their life, and they want that purpose to come back. They want you to serve that role they assigned to you, whatever that was. And if this is a man narcissist and there's a woman that he's trying to date, he wants you to be his supply again. Oftentimes, if it's a same-sex thing, it can be that person wants to have someone to pick at and to bully and to make themselves feel better by putting down. That's really what it is. And I know this happens to a lot of people because they tell me about it. Often it's a woman telling me about it, that her ex, that's a male narcissist, is trying to do this, but it certainly happens in these kinds of scenarios that I'm talking about right now. And ultimately, and this is the part where people get themselves in trouble, where a lot of people, they don't quite know if the person can change or not. And my rule of thumb is behaviors will determine. And that's why it's so important for people to really know if someone's a narcissist or not. Dr. Romney, she was talking before about how she was confused as to why people were concerned about the label. And I think people are concerned about the label because it's been pretty well established that most narcissists can't change. And if that person has the label, they'll know that, and they'll be less likely to try to take them back. Because here's the thing, often people that are struggling with this have been codependent. And they want to see the best in people. They want to forgive deep down. They want to see that person in a better light. But when it comes to a cluster B narcissistic personality disorder, it doesn't serve them well. And in fact, it can get them more in trouble, is really what happens. And here's the thing. Here's how I would know. If you've had a narcissist in your life and you've blocked them, and then they somehow find a way to contact you via a no-caller ID number, know this. They have not changed, because you would know they have changed if you reached out to them. If they actually let you do that. If they respected your boundary and said, okay, this person doesn't want to talk to me right now. I accept that and I respect that. And I'm not going to try to go do an end around the boundary. That would be the first step to know this person has changed. But when they don't do that, what it really means is, I don't care about your boundary. And when I was briefly on the phone with him, he said, unblock me. Life's too short is what he said. Life's too short to be upset with family. To which I said, life's too short to be treated like trash. Also true. But again, it just goes to show how little they respect boundaries. They'll bulldoze them. Bulldoze, guilt, shame, gaslight, the same old tricks. And unfortunately, I won't say a narcissist can never, ever, ever change. And I'm very hesitant in even saying that, because I don't want to see people get in trouble by letting a narcissistic person back into their lives only to discover they haven't changed and hurt them more. But the first step to really know would be, are they actually respecting you and your boundaries? Because if they're not, and they're trying to do anything they can to get through your boundaries and around them, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. There's a reason why we went no contact to begin with. And it's because they don't respect boundaries, right? That's how it goes. And I get it. For a lot of people, even going no contact is hard. That's a struggle, and that's a big accomplishment, just getting to no contact. But as some of us know who have been no contact for a while, the struggle doesn't always end there. They also try to, again, call from no caller IDs. The other trick I've seen narcissists do is they'll add you to a group text where they know you have the numbers of other people they're going to include in this group text. And here's what happens in that. You'll get the messages. You won't get the person you blocked messages, but you'll get everyone else that's responding to the narcissist. And you'll see them. And that's just another one of their sneaky ways to hoover. And I've had multiple people do that to me, where they'll include me in a group text when they know, no, I don't want to talk to you. That should be enough. Respect the fact I don't want to talk to you. Don't add me to group texts so I'll have to see you messaging people I know. Don't try to call me from no caller IDs. Respect the boundary. If I wanted to talk to you, I would. It is really that simple. And if this is happening to you out there, and maybe you're the person that has put a narcissist in no contact, do not feel guilty. And if they're trying to go around your boundaries, no, they have not changed. They are still not respecting you. If they respected you, they would know, okay, this person blocked me, I respect that. But they can't do that. Narcissists think boundaries don't apply to them. They will try to bulldoze through your boundaries, guilt, shame, gaslight your boundaries, flip the script back on you, the same old narcissistic tricks, the same reasons why we had to block them and go no contact to begin with. And again, 99 times out of 100, they will not change. I will never say anything's impossible, but 99 times out of 100, they won't change, right? And our boundaries are our boundaries. Life is too short, family or not, to be treated like garbage and disrespected. Do not feel guilty out there for having solid boundaries. And just because someone doesn't understand our boundaries doesn't mean we're wrong. Just because they don't respect them doesn't mean we're wrong and we shouldn't have them. In fact, the fact that they're going so far out of their way to try to get in contact with us means this is why the boundary was needed to begin with, right? And like I always said, and I said it in my book, the only people who will be upset when we have boundaries after we've had none are people who benefited from us having no boundaries. And often, for people that struggled with low self-esteem or codependency, they often would attract some narcissistic folks in their lives that would pick at them, talk down to them, bully them, because we were serving a role at that time to make the narcissist feel better about themselves. But when we develop some confidence and some assertiveness and put our foot down, we got to put an end to that. And here's the thing. Some people will be able to treat us differently. Perhaps if they're not narcissistic, yes, they will learn to respect our boundaries and appreciate the new version of us when we grow. But others, they will not be able to. And they can't look at you in a new light. And they will only see the version of you they felt the most power over. And in that case, they've left no choice but to go no contact, or the least amount of contact necessary. One or the other. And when my family member contacted me the other day, I gave him a quick gray rock. Life's too short to be treated like trash, and I gotta go. And I'm thinking to myself, if I wanted to talk to you, you wouldn't be blocked. And just the fact that you think you have to go end around my boundary and call from a no-caller ID, get the hell out of here with that. You are still not respecting me. You do not care about my boundaries. Knock it off. Leave me alone. End of story. Exclamation point. Period. Do not feel guilty for having boundaries. The people who are meant to be in our lives, they will respect boundaries. And they will not push and prod and poke and guilt and shame and gaslight and the whole shaboo. They will not do that. They'll respect us and appreciate us. And remember, actions will always speak loudest of all. Again, if they really respected us, they wouldn't be trying to go end around our boundaries, add us to group texts, call us from no-caller IDs. And the reason I'm making this video is because I know there's a lot of people in this situation. It happens to a lot of people, men and women alike, from family members and from romantic entanglements. It happens. But remember, keep your boundaries firm. Don't let them guilt and shame you. Don't let them gaslight you. Don't let them tell you life's too short. No. Life's too short to be treated like trash. And with that, comment below what you think about this video. Perhaps share this video with someone you think might need to hear it. Maybe they're struggling with a person that's trying to go around their boundaries, a narcissistic person in particular. And maybe their confidence is wavering. Send them this and say, no, don't let your confidence waver. Keep your radical self-respect. Enforce your boundaries. Do not let them end around your boundaries. Full stop. Full stop. Thank you for watching.